What's up, y'all boys? This is gonna be the first ever podcast of called Beyond Bounds. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Juan. I'm a 19-year-old dunker, and I'm from Florida. And then we're gonna start off going over our two co-hosts here, and then we're gonna have a little story to tell you about one of them. So go on ahead, Darshil.
Yeah, my name is Darshil Sheth. I'm a 21-year-old dunker from California, and I'll head it off to Jayden.
All right, I'm Jayden Suarez, next Puerto Rican airbender. I'm 5'6", from New York. You know what I'm saying? About to start my dunk journey. My three boys right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Also, I think I forgot to say my height. I'm a 5'7". What about you, Darshil?
I'm 5'6" in shoes, barely.
Oh, shit.
Nice. So as you can tell, we're all pretty short, and we have all a bright future ahead of us. So this podcast, we're gonna be first introducing Jayden, his story, and how he got into dunking. So Jayden, I'm gonna ask you a few questions here.
Huh?
Basically, what got you started? What was the origin story for you? Where did it start for you as you started
Like,
learning
where
about
did I
dunking?
where did I start dunking?
Yeah, like where did you first like where did you even hear about it at first?
All right, so first, this was the time where I just got out of track season, 8th grade, and it was the summer where I went to Puerto Rico. I was 15, and basically, I was trying to do football, and I was just really deciding what ball sport I wanted to play. So then I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And then I hung out with my cousins for the first time, and they really got me into basketball when I went to my grandfather's house, because I was like, wow, I really fell in love with the game. Then I started watching, oh, all these guys could dunk. I'm like, wow, I could do that too. And then I'm looking at like short dunkers like Anthony Height, some guy like named Gang Flyers. He's on YouTube. He really inspired me, I'm not gonna lie. And then Isaiah Rivera, um, a whole bunch of other guys, Anthony Height, Tony Crosby, Ty Jackson, all them guys, man. That's really what got me into it. I just kept on training my butt off for years. It's been like about 4 years now, just constant training, me making my own regiment. Then now I'm on THP, so it's pretty good.
I
Nice.
actually
Well, did
wanted
you have
to.
any?
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I wanted to ask, what event did you do in track? Just out of curiosity, back in 8th grade.
Well, in 8th grade, I did the 100, 200, but in high school, in sophomore year, I wanted to do I did high jump, but I wanted to do long jump and high jump because I was like, it's the most specific thing. So I wanted to practice that specific thing.
And
Unfortunately, it was 1 foot. So,
what was your high jump? Just also.
oh, yo, it was bad because I'm not a 1 foot jumper, and at the time, my vertical was like 27 inches with like off a 2 foot approach. I was 5'2", and then in sophomore year, I was 5'4", 5'5", so I was like 5'4.5", and I got a 5'2" high jump. So kind of bad, but not the best, not the worst. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely could do way better now.
Mm-hmm. And did you have any like athletic background before this time when you were around 15?
Nope. I would just play tag, with friends. I would I would play video games. I wanted to become a gamer at the time, but then I switched my passions. So
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I yeah
I really like this game.
I had something similar. I had something similar.
So I always was like, oh, what, I'm pretty good at video games, but then I'm like, this doesn't like really apply to real life. So I can I feel like I would cook, like I'd like mess you up in the game or something like that if it was real life, because I get to use my own athletic abilities, so I don't have to depend on like freaking fake abilities. You know what I'm saying? Able to use
Yeah, yeah.
my body power.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Main
got it. Yeah,
path.
I like that. We got to keep it PG-13. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, no, I was asking you. So when you started doing like your dunk training, how did that start off for you? Like, did you start off just low rimming, and then when did you start adding in like weight training and stuff like that? Like, how did that progression look like up until now?
So it started with like low plyos, trying to touch the net and the backboard, and then when I got back to New York, from PR, it was really just and also that's where it's all started. Puerto Rico. Yep. Um, so when I got back, I had my rim lowered, and I was like, yeah, I get to practice all these dunks, you know. And it sucks because I have everything on my old Instagram account, but it did get deleted because someone hacked into it. Um, so yeah, so I would post all that stuff, and then I wanted to become a basketball player, but I also wanted to dunk, you know. And it's funny because I never really got into watching basketball, but I would watch dunkers. So I'd play basketball, but I'd watch dunkers. So I'd watch Dunkademics, House House of Highlights. I would see some crazy dunks, just people floating in the air, you know? So I was like, wow, that's actually crazy. I watch a lot of motivational videos. I've always had like I had my fair share of knee pain, you know. I mean, it's a canon event. Everybody goes through it. I found out how to get out of it. I made my own little management program. Um, and yeah, really just been strength training and doing all that ever since. Like, but at this time, like I was mostly doing like plyos and jumping. I was just trying to do as many tricks as I can. It was on 7'5" to 8 feet. I remember I was trying, and then like sometimes it would go back rim because how bad I was at dunking. It was just so uncoordinated. And this is also not the cat. This is also when my technique wasn't that good either. So now my technique is like it's close to perfect, in my
Yeah, no,
opinion.
your
It
your
could be
your
better.
technique. Yeah, your technique's beautiful, bro. Like honestly, like
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
Yeah,
There's just yeah, there's so many things that like you do well, like especially rolling off the foot and pushing as hard as you can while leading with the knee. That like you have that really like honestly perfect split, and then you get knee to knee. So that's honestly like
yeah. I
you
always
have
get into the knee. I love that. That's the one thing about me.
yeah.
like
That's my
I
specialty.
think
Like I can have a short penultimate and that would
yeah,
be it.
like
Knee to knee.
even before you fixed your technique with the big split and everything, your amortization is crazy. Like being able to use the block foot that you do. You'll find
Yeah,
out throughout this podcast that out of the three of us, I have the worst jump technique here by far. But it's a work in progress in terms of my stuff at least. But
yeah.
You guys are
Definitely.
gonna
I'm just
see.
trying.
You
I'm
guys are
trying.
gonna see over the months Darshil's technique improve 100%. We
Oh
got
my
him.
God.
Me and
Yeah.
Jayden got him. But
We're like coaches for him.
yeah.
We're leading him in the right direction. He's gonna be
Yes.
joining the 9'10" club or 10 foot club soon.
Yes,
Let's hope.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm in the nine
No,
ten club right now. And then
um,
yeah,
I
Jaden's actually
officially
close
just
to getting
signed
the
up.
910 club. Yeah,
No,
tell us about
I
that.
technically I did get in the 9'10" club. I just didn't. I just haven't like
Oh yeah,
trained
you haven't gotten like
like
a
that.
like a clean dunk yet. We got like those soft dunks.
Did you see the one in the chat?
Which one? Because there's a lot.
The one
Like
where
I
I
saw.
bounce it and then I catch it and then I actually put it in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I saw that
That
one.
one
I
was
saw that one.
clean.
That one was a dunk. It was a soft one, but that's a dunk. That's a dunk for sure.
Yeah. It wasn't the one that I posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
It was the one with the pink shorts with the Crocs.
Yeah, yeah, no, I saw that one. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta, yo,
It's
if
always
you
the
get in them
Crocs.
shoes, man, you're gonna be,
You know,
you'd be
I did get in the
slamming.
shoes. I did get in the shoes. And
Were
then
you
remember
warming
I
up or
bought it.
something?
Yeah, I was warming up.
Yeah, it's a matter of time now, bro, at this point for you to get that.
Yeah, no.
But
I want to get in it.
yeah, talk to me about when you were like struggling with like those injuries for a bit, like how like what you kind of information you found and what you did to kind of get back to pretty much normal.
Well, I can't lie that if I went through my fair share of videos, you know, of those, you know, basic plyo videos on how to get vertical jump and then also on how to heal knee pain. Um, I'm not very injury prone, but I did have my fair share of knee pain where it would be hard to go down the stairs. I would have to literally hold the ramp and like kind of like lift myself up so I don't touch the ground. That's how bad it was.
So on like a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was it? Like from one
Oh
being no
yeah,
pain at all,
it
10 to
was
being
like
the worst
eight
it
to
could
ten.
possibly be.
It was like eight to
Really?
ten.
And that
Yeah,
was like tendon pain?
it was probably like realistically, it was like a nine,
Hmm.
because it's still like livable with. But yeah,
A
it was
nine
tendon pain,
a nine
and
out
it
of
all,
10 pain would not be. It's practically like you're almost dying, man.
yeah, it's definitely
But
like a yeah, right. It felt okay. Let me see. Maybe it's probably eight out of 10. All right,
no,
I
but
think that's realistic.
I get what you mean.
I think that's
Yeah.
realistic, but it feels like a 10. But
Like you
it's
were
eight.
waking up aching, you were like, "Oh, my knee, man. Damn." Like, like that.
No, it was kind of like when I stepped on the ground, it was kind of like I couldn't really bend my knees. They were kind of just stiff. So
Oh.
I was like,
Oh, you're walking like an old timer.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So
Mm, okay, okay, okay.
tragic days. And all that. I would do a lot of jumping, like kind of like with 1 foot angles. So it was more so speed dominant. That's probably why it hurt so much.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was just like boom, like a sharp kind of jump.
Okay.
It was basically kind of me just like throwing my 2 feet at the ground. It's probably why I got so good at amortizing because I started off jumping like uh Justin Darlington. Actually, Isaiah compared me to that one time in his comments or something.
Mm,
Yeah, because it was like a little hop into it.
yeah. So then, wait, how'd you come back from that? Because that sounds pretty bad.
Oh, the knee pain? Well, what I did was I would take a break actually. So I would take a break and then come back. If the knee pain got back, I would scale it a bit, and then this was also during the time where I would like warm up actually. Like I wouldn't do like a full on warm up. I would kind of just like do slow dunks, do the movements, get the specificity in. So uh I would just keep on raising the hoop till I was struggling, and then if I felt like knee pain was happening, sometimes I would thug it out. I would just keep going. Uh, yeah. I would
That's what
do.
athletes
I
do.
also had I also had my on year two or three, I had my fair share of jump training that I started. I would do sprints. I tried power cleans. My technique was horrible, like horrendous for any beginner. Um, Now it's pretty decent. It could be better. As
You have some stuff
anybody's
you can work.
technique. Yeah. Um, darn. Wait. I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Wait, what was we talking about?
We were talking about your training, your jump training. You're talking about your power cleans.
Oh yes. So I would also focus on like ATG stuff because because they were like, oh, this helps with knee pain, tip raises. So I do weighted tip raises with a kettlebell. And I'm not gonna lie, it did help a bit. It did help a little bit. I would do it
Yeah.
where I had a phase where I did it like every day or like
Hmm.
every other day, and I would use a 15-pound one, and I would go really like deep into the motions. And my tips were burning, so I'll tell you that. Yeah, sometimes it was hard to move them, and I think that's also when my ankles start like doing that little ankle pop. I don't know.
Mm. You
Yeah,
know,
right now I can do it.
the funny thing is, Jaden, is that I think out of all of us, I don't think I've told you guys this. I was on ATG.
Yeah, you did.
I
You were
like
on the program.
I was
Oh
on the
wait, I
program
think you did. Yeah.
in the very
Mm,
beginning, but
okay.
did you meet the Tib standard, Jaden?
I have no clue. It
Dude, I would
sounds
study the hell out of those standards. I would literally, I have so many notes of like what the standards would be for me specifically, and it's like, okay, this is what I want to do, and then I would just not do them all.
so. I would do slow. I would do the tip raises. I would do the wall tip raises. I would do slow squats.
I mean,
deep squats, of course,
yeah, that
DCG.
the slow
Um,
squats are still something that you see even with the training you got right with
I tried a
THP.
little bit of split squats. Um, I tried a little bit of split squats. Um, ah, my knee pain did go away for a little bit. Then it would come back if I jumped really high because the outputs were higher. Especially since I'm a speed base. I was a speed base jumper. I don't even know what I am now. I'm probably like a hybrid. Um, Definitely due to my long split penultimate now
Hmm.
and just changing my technique. I don't have to depend more on speed. My penultimate just throws me into the ground now
Nice.
like a rocket.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's what happens when you get better technique, like the way you're able to throw yourself. Once the outputs are higher, bro, trust me, you'll the knee pain that you had may or may not come back, and I'm just telling you now. But what tips would you give the people watching about that?
About knee pain?
About knee pain? Yeah.
Oh yeah. What I would say is definitely have a proper warm up. You could do slow squats. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like oh sorry, I do get lazy on my ISOs. So I used to do ISOs all the time. Like I was actually on like a load management before I entered THP, and it was just my own thing. Um, if this was also during the time where I was just like fooling around, so I was just messing around with how uh how deep I could squat and how heavy I can go. So this is when I got my 255 deep back squat. It was low bar, so high bar is a different ball game. So that's what I did, and then I really just focused on jump technique. Focusing on jump technique is definitely a big thing because you can really just learn how to amortize properly and just convert those forces properly. Also, another thing that I did was proper warm-ups. So I would do with proper warm-ups, I would just go outside, do slow, I would do like slow like run-ups kind of. Just work on the technique, trying to touch higher rim, because if my hoop is adjustable, so it just raise it up. Then I would do like tennis ball downs, and then I get to actual basketball, like where I'm shooting it and then trying to dunk it, throwing a lot. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, that's really what I just did. It's kind of just running through the motions. And sometimes what I like to do is I like to do slow deep squats, or I will do like I kind of do like like soft plyos where like so I'll do like either slow deep squats where I'll go all the way down for like 10 times. I'll do like little jumps, like pogos, just to really get me fired up, my nervous system, and then I would also run through the motions. That really is just what warmed me up and what made my knee pain less because my
Yeah.
body's used to it.
Yeah, and like yeah, the main that's like what the THP guys talk about, the main progression, which would be like the doing the isometrics pretty much every day. And then the isotonics with the slow squats, the slow basically slow knee extension movements, and then progressing back into the plyos with with drops and box jumps, and then eventually getting back into low effort jumping. And that's all yeah, that's all a very slow process. So yeah, and yeah, it definitely takes a lot of patience. So yeah, just for anybody out there looking
Oh,
for them.
also, if you do that, you will get healthier, but you might jump lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely very possible. Um, Maybe sometimes if you could kind of like if you have a really good jump day that's very high intensity and you're just having fast contacts, may not be the worst because you have good technique down and you're also training your body to be fast. But definitely being on those high explosive exercises take a toll on your body, but they do make you jump higher. Um, just have to put them in the right
Yeah.
cycle and you'll jump higher than the slow squat
Yeah.
days. But
Yeah.
definitely focus on those two because
Yeah.
very important to implement.
100%. Yeah, it's all a process, man. And then when you do jump lower, just know that like you can always make that progress back really fast and you know, and even though it may not seem like it when you do those exercises and you jump lower, that's just, it's simple concept of fatigue. The more you train and stuff like that, you start getting more fatigued, and then as you freshen up, you start jumping higher than you were
Exactly.
before. But yeah, and
And
then go ahead.
you have to just, if you want to adapt and jump higher, you have to push yourself to the limit. If no half-assing, you know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah,
go 50%,
and
70%.
expect results.
You have to go
Yeah,
110%. Doesn't mean
yeah,
every session you could go 95, 110%. You just have to have your body realize, oh shoot, I have to make this organism stronger. So I have to
yeah.
push myself to the
Push,
limit, you know.
yeah,
I
pushing that.
push myself to, I'm saying I push myself to the limit where my legs will feel dead, but I'll have good technique, so I will jump higher because I know how to convert those forces properly. And I do feel Achilles pain. So
Yeah.
sometimes, like after the session, I'll feel like my Achilles is tender.
Mm,
Actually, yesterday, this might be a little rant, but yesterday, oh, yo, I was going crazy.
mm,
Yo, bro, it's so nice. Like I didn't have seated ca the coaches seated sorry. I didn't have seated calf raises programmed, but it said standing calf raises and calf raises. So it didn't specify. So what I did was because I seen Isaiah's podcast, he's talking about the soleus. The soleus it when you're doing a standing calf raise, the gastroc becomes a limiter, meaning that you could do less calf raises in turn. So when you do seated calf raises, you only focus on the soleus, and the soleus is the only muscle that's working. So your gastroc is not a limiter, meaning you won't get as tired as fast. Does not mean you won't feel it. I felt like I had a contusion in my calf, like, and in my Achilles tendon. Yo, it felt like, you know, the guitar strings when they go, boom,
yeah,
the
yeah.
little rip. Yo, that's exactly what I felt. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, jeez.
Yo,
You
that was scary. That
I
was scary. But I was
wait,
like,
wait.
I
Was
put
this while we were
220,
doing the calf
two,
raises?
225. So with the calf raise, like let's say this is the little platform. I'm sitting down, my knees up here, my shins right here. This is where my foot is. This is my foot, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going like this. So I'm going what 225, which is three plates. So 20, 45, 45, and then a 45. So boom, I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. You're. Oh, okay.
And then I'm like throwing the weight up, kind of.
Okay. Yeah,
that
that
I'm
that getting
holding
that
it,
that
holding it,
stretch.
holding
that would
it,
de
holding
like
it, and
especially if you're
I'm doing like six to eight of those. Like some like but the thing is that's so good because that I'm not I would really say that in the most important thing for jump technique is the last two steps. Like you really could have like a terrible penultimate and you could jump high. Like the penultimate is good, but like it's really not what's gonna make you like jump the highest. I beg to differ that. Like in my
I could argue with that.
opinion, the block foot and the plant foot is the most important steps. Like especially the block foot. If you can really amortize the block foot to really jump high, and that's really just ground contact time and how fast you produce those forces because those are the last two steps. Got the last two steps, can't really do anything. With a short penultimate and a fast approach, you can jump high. Look at Anthony Height. Those are outliers, but just because they're outliers does not mean that technique can't work for someone. You can have bad genetics and still do the same thing, but if you're able to have good technique with those last two steps at least, you'll jump high. I was doing it. I was probably jumping like 36, 37 inches when I got my dunks on 9.9. That was like before. Now I'm probably jumping around the same amount. That was before load management. I actually did load management after that because I got knee pain.
actually I guess I have a few questions in regards to
Okay.
like Do you find more often that you have that you deal with Achilles tendinopathy over knee tendinopathy these days because of how much you're basically using your block foot?
Um, you know what's crazy? It's like I do feel like I do get knee pain, but it's not the normal knee pain. So it's weird. Like when I sit down or stay still for a very long time, it's like my tendons become really tight and they start hurting bad, like 6 to 8 out of 10 pain. I'm like, holy cow. And then I basically have to warm my legs up and then I can walk normal and it just doesn't hurt anymore. It's really weird. Like it's kind of how it's like my body has to warm up and then I get to move. Like I have to stretch my leg out. Like right now I have like knee pain. I have to stretch my leg out and then like let's say I stand, it does not hurt. Like I feel a little tender, but it doesn't hurt. But when I stay still, sometimes for a while, it hurts.
That's the concept of what they talk about when tendons don't like rest. And I don't know exactly what the science is behind that, but I know that for sure. Like they talk about how tendons do not like rest.
Yeah, so
Probably be a
basically
good idea to do your
I
ISOs right after this podcast.
Yeah. I think
maybe yeah.
I've had a similar sensation before
I
where
have this sensation with my ISOs too though. That's the thing. Like even when I do my ISOs, same thing. I don't know.
do you go like too hard on the ISOs? Maybe? I don't know.
Um, that could have been what it was. Like I
Is it
remember where when I would do ISOs, like I'd be like an ego lifter, and I would do like um 200
I remember the
pound,
video of you doing it with like
200
a
pound
heavy ass
ISOs.
kettlebell,
Oh
doing like
yeah.
a single leg squat, and then do it with a heavy ass kettlebell doing those ISOs.
it,
Oh, you talking about pistol squats?
No, no, no. You were doing like an ISO with like a really heavy like kettlebell. I remember.
Oh
It
wait,
was like,
no, those were Achilles ISOs.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yo,
yeah, those
those
were
are
for your.
good. Those are good, bro. I'm telling you, honestly, calf raises. Yeah, honestly, when Isaiah was talking about that, they're not like honestly, like how people would be like they would overhype them, but maybe like depending on maybe it wasn't looked right. Like I don't think it was overhyped. Like I think that if you know how to train them, they're very beneficial.
100%.
Especially like the calf itself. Yes, it's important, but what's more important in my opinion that I feel like should be more focused on is the Achilles. People be like, oh, get your Achilles right doing plyos and stuff like that. But strength training is proven that it makes your tendon
Yeah,
thicker and stronger. So
yeah.
that's why, like, when I do workouts, I do like really heavy, and then I would kind of do like little partials.
Mhm.
Like Jeff Nippard was talking about this, like doing like little partials, and that people saw more muscle growth from that rather than the full extension. So I would do the full extension, but at the end of my set where I'm failing, I would go really slow partials. I would do like 5 to 10 of them, and then I would hold it, and then I would go up. So basically, I'm just focusing. It's kind of like my tendon is having a tug of war. That's why I
Mhm.
do those rebounds. It's probably why I'm so elastic,
Yeah,
because I'm just like stretching the rubber band constantly,
yeah.
and it's
And
like
like that's
trying to
yeah,
tear it.
yeah, and like that's the difference between like the plyometrics and the strength training. 'Cause yeah, from what I know, from my knowledge, the plyometrics is what is gonna kind of teach the tendon, it's called like the musculotendinous unit, basically the muscle and the tendon, and teaches it how to work
Cool,
together. So that's
yes,
like what
it
people
would
would do in
it
training.
essentially teaches your body to
cool.
have like I think what it's called like rate coding in terms of being able to use the force that you have at a
Yeah,
faster rate. But like
yeah,
Yeah,
at end of the day, you want to have that kind of strength that you can use to be able to
yeah,
utilize that rate coding in the first place. So like there's definitely a place in terms of the fact that if you train your calves correctly, they're going to help.
yeah.
hmm
Like it's honestly like a fallacy when certain people say, "Oh, calf raises are gonna make you slower." They're not gonna make you slower unless you're not doing explosive activities, plyos,
yeah,
jumping, sprinting, any of those kinds of things.
The
hmm
reason why I do think it's important is because especially with the last step, the block foot, right? The block foot, I kind of it's kind of like a stiff landing that I try to have. I try to have a very like the stiffest landing I can, so my foot is basically stagnant. It's kind of just like going like this, like that. It's not going boom. Like I try not to do that. Like I try to go boom, like that. And naturally, because I'm going like this, my tendon's stiffer, so I'll basically try to stiffen my tendon, and then I'll kind of just go like this. You see that? That little rebound? So the stiffer that is, the more horizontal force I have, that's the more energy potential I have. So basically, that means it's going to be the lower forces I put in horizontal energy, and I have a really strong tendon, the less it's going to move. But the more speed and inertia I have, and the stronger the tendon is, it's going to be harder to recoil. So if I do land on the ground with my block foot and it's really a lot of power and the tendon's really stiff, it'll go boom, you know? Because it wants to return back to that force,
Yep.
back
Yeah.
to
We'll
that form.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a future podcast about some more stuff like that, about like the
Yeah,
penultimates or the just technique in general. But I want to
definitely.
ask you a few other things, and then so we can end this off. First, I want to talk about your low rimming because you're the
Okay.
best dunker out of all of us when it comes to like actually doing dunks and actually
Right.
especially that it was like the 360 under both that you did.
Oh
That
yeah.
one was tough. So like talk to me about your progression with that, like how you started off low rimming and where you're at now with that.
You know, actually, that dunk was like my first day ever trying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, trying new
I
stuff.
I was just like imagining it. Like okay, realistically, I've done that on like a mini hoop. You know,
Hmm.
that's like ever since I started mini hooping, like um doing like little mini hoop dunks like on my door, just working on hand speed and like actually doing the dunk. I'll do like dunks like where I'll bounce it off the ground, hits the wall. I'll catch the ball, hit the ball twice, put it between my legs, and I'll dunk it. Like I'll do stuff like that. Or like
Yeah.
I'll bounce it, hit the ball, catch it, bounce it twice, do a 360. You know,
And
I'll do some crazy stuff.
when you start doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, that was last year. I really started picking that up. So
Mhm.
last year I got it and it really like helped. I even put it like on top of the little ledge. I put like something to make the hoop higher. So I would actually practice doing dunks indoors and I would have full on dunk sessions in my house. So I practice
Yeah.
in between the legs, 360 East Bend, and I would get really good at it. I tried it outside. I would get closer and closer. I was like, holy cow, I'm getting closer than what I was when I wasn't practicing this. It's because I was training the law of specificity, getting better at the motions. Then I was like, okay, I watched where Dom talks about this. I watched where Isaiah talks about this. And then I would just incorporate it, go outside, try different dunks. So it would be, I wouldn't practice 360 windmills that much. I should practice them more, but it does not favor my technique, because I'm right left. Yeah.
Yeah. That's something I've noticed. There's definitely certain dunkers that do like certain things and don't do other things. Like Tony Crosby, he doesn't do stuff like scorpions, but then he can do other crazy stuff like
No,
under boths or
I think he's
like
done
insane.
scorpions.
He no, there's a recent video of him first like trying scorpions. It's not too recent, but like he doesn't do scorpions often. So it's like it's not something
Mm,
that's like they like different dunkers have different like specific dunks. Like and there's like
yeah. That
a
kind of
bag of
like
dunks that they
stick
have
out to
that are
them.
like better at than others. Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they're so good at those, and that's what makes them different. Like how they have different styles. Like Jordan Sutherland, he has different style than so many other dunkers because he just looks so majestic in the air when he does his dunks. So it's like that. It's like difference like that between like Isaiah. Like Isaiah's like insanely good at the fundamentals, so he can punch like a regular like
Yeah.
behind the back, but make it look amazing. And then Donovan Hawkins, he's like the punchiest dunker you'll ever see. Like he
Yeah.
just does it all so fast and so beautifully, and then he can do very complex dunks and still punch them. So it's all the different styles and stuff.
It's because he's
But
tall and he jumps high too on top of that. So
but yeah,
he doesn't have to shy away from the dunk because he knows he doesn't have to.
exactly,
But
exactly.
we should all talk about what our signature dunks are.
Wait. Jayden,
What's up?
before we do that, I actually wanted to ask a question
Okay.
because when you were trying to fix your penultimate step, right, in the last few months or so,
Okay.
how did you, I guess, translate that into low remming? And I'm asking this both
Oh,
for you and
yo,
also
what
for
I
me because I'm
did?
doing that.
Yeah. So what I did was I would try max approach jumps with that before I low rim. So I actually did that, and then I had to relearn how to dunk low rim. So everything was so delayed. It was weird. I was not used to it. East Bays, it was different. Like, cause sometimes I still do it. Like, but the thing is, what I did to cue that, for me to jump higher was I would take off from a certain spot. So I would look at a like a little like deformity in my court outside or inside, like well, I'll see like a little line I have to go. So I'll just put that. I'll be like, okay, I have to jump from here. So I plant my step from there, drive my knee high, and I kind of just think of like when I drive my knee high, I kind of think of this. It's up here, and I'm kind of like landing right here. Rather than my knees high and I'm just landing down, I kind of have it like where my knee is up like this, and I'm kind of just like boom, and I'm landing at an angle like this because that's how far I extended my knee.
Yeah. It's kind of like once you've extended your penultimate,
Yeah,
once
like I
you let
stab
go of
myself
that
in the ground.
penultimate, once you let go of that penultimate foot, that's when you start reaching with the foot after you lead with the knee, right?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it doesn't even look like a step for me. Like for me, it's kind of like it looks like I'm jumping into it, like a little bit. Like I'm throwing
Uh,
myself. Like obviously I'm not, but it's kind of like a little jump.
That actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it because it's
It's just
like,
not up. It's more so like boom, I'm in the air and like it's kind of like both my feet. You know, I got knee to knee. I don't
yeah,
go boom boom like I kind of go boom boom like that. So it's like a little bounce.
and that's kind of like the feeling that I've heard from like other people also with their penultimate step, like with good jumpers, that it's
Yeah.
not really like a step, really. It feels a lot more like a jump into something, or
Yeah,
better
like a
yet,
yo,
I
Isaiah
think,
said the same thing.
yeah,
He
exactly,
said
yeah,
a depth drop
yeah,
or a depth jump. That's exactly what it feels like. It really does. Like it does because you're not you're not going you're not going boom boom like how you demonstrated. You kind of just have it up here, boom boom. You see how quick that is? It's boom, boom boom. If you slow mo that, it's gonna go boom boom, but if you look at it fast, it's going boom, right? Does that make sense? If okay, whoever's watching this, if you're a jumper, you would understand, especially if you understand jump mechanics. That's how I'm explaining the plant foot and the block foot. So slow mo, it's boom, boom, plant foot, block foot, last step, second to last step. So fast, boom. Understood?
no, good explanation. Yeah, we're gonna dive into that definitely in a future podcast
For
about the
sure.
penultimate stuff because there's definitely a lot to talk about there. But all right, last thing I want to talk about is where you're at now and what you're looking to do in the future, and then we can end this off.
Okay. Well, excuse me. Where I'm at now, damn, I really wish we could put like little clips, but where I
I
am,
We'll
mean,
make some
maybe we
shorts.
can.
We'll make some shorts.
yeah,
All right, so oh yeah, like I feel you. Um, well, where I'm at now is I'm getting closer to like doing full on punches on 9 foot 10. I could do it on 9'9", but on 9'10" that's where it starts struggling. Now I'm not struggling as much because I'm like getting the motions down, but if it's starting to feel like low rim, I could grab rim like easily every time. I don't have to full on try. I could do it off one step, which is pretty good. Mhm. Um, I did a 360 under both on 8, so that's definitely something new. I can almost East Bay on not, I don't know if it was 8 foot. It's between 8 foot 9 and 9 feet. I'm gonna tell you that. But I can almost East Bay on that off the lob. And I'm pretty close. Like my technique, it looks pretty good. I should start practicing it again. Like it's a hard dunk, but I'm definitely getting there. Definitely getting close to behind the back on 9 feet. Just have to commit. I could do. I think I've maybe done the 360 on 9 feet. I could do a windmill on 9 feet. I could almost windmill on 9 foot four outdoors. Um, Outdoors is different, so can't judge me. I probably could. I actually do get close on 9 foot 8 to 9 foot 9 windmilling. I just haven't tried it in a while because I need a hoop that's that low indoors. But yeah, that's how I'm dunking right now.
Nice.
Pretty good.
And
Could be
what
better.
you're looking for what you're looking for in your future in this community and what you're looking to do.
Like my all-time goal
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just where you're going for really.
for my goal, honestly, like I wanna be the highest jumper. I'm not gonna lie, I wanna be the highest jumper in the world. Like I may not have to be the best dunker, obviously, because height is definitely that doesn't mean that height is gonna be like the biggest factor, but height really is the biggest factor. Especially with certain dunks, like you're not gonna see me do a
I'd say
double 360
I'd
in
say
between the
height plus
legs.
reach, right?
What's happening?
Height plus reach. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Reach. Due to my reach, is a limiter. So definitely be good. If I do get good at dunks, maybe I will become one of the best dunkers in the world. Uh, Might take me a while to hit some of these dunks because I'm shorter and I need to jump higher than most people. But my goal is to jump the highest. I want to get one day, if I do, which I'm going to continue to do this. I've been on this journey for 4 years already. So I want to try, or technically almost 4 years. July would make 4 years. So, well, my current goal is going to be try to touch 10-4, and then it's going to be try to grab 10-4. And then I'm going to, my all-time goal is going to be try to get a 52 to 53 inch vertical, if that's possible. But let's see. We'll see. We'll look back at this clip one day.
We'll see what that's looking like in about 10 years. Because
Yeah, yeah, we'll go over the process.
it's gonna be a journey, but that's what you gotta enjoy the most at the end of the day. But yeah, anyways, where can they find you, Jayden?
You guys could find me on Instagram and YouTube at C0MIKZ underscore. We'll maybe put that on the screen. I don't know, or we'll put it in the description.
Yes,
So,
sir.
uh, look on YouTube, look on Instagram, and I'll always be posting. But yeah,
All right, cool. And what about you, Darshil? Just for they know.
yeah. I'm not active on YouTube anymore. It's literally just my name, Darshil Sheth, on there. Very simple. Or it's D Sheth, I think. I forget. But on Instagram, I'm a lot more active. I'm Dunkin' Darshil, like Dunkin' Donuts.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, and then for me on YouTube, it's gonna be Air Juan Dunks, Juan Pescador. That's gonna be my little nickname on there, and then on Instagram, I'm Juan.dunks, also Air Juan. So, yeah, that's gonna be the end of this podcast. This is the first of many. This podcast is gonna grow. It's gonna be a good one. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you watched to the end, I really appreciate you. I'll see y'all in the next one. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
peace out.